first. Okay. All right, should we start? Start. You guys can see this, right? You can see this, right? Yes. All right. How are you guys feeling today? How are you? Are you guys okay? You're very quiet. Cool? What do you mean cool? Sleepy? Okay. It won't. You won't. You didn't see anything? Can you see this? Oh God. Oh yes. Okay. Thank you. Wait. I forgot to do this. I'm old. All right. Can you guys see this now? Thank you so much for letting me know about this. Can you see this? Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm old now. Okay, should we start? All right. I have released 65% of your course marks. If you haven't looked at it, please have a look at the Blackboard announcement. I think I posted yesterday. Mhm. So basically, what it consists of is that those marks are comprised of your report, the group report, and then we have your oral presentation. So basically, these two, everybody in the group should have the same marks. So if you did not get the same mark as your friends, maybe I wrongly put the marks, can you please let me know as soon as possible? Just email me and then tell me that maybe I, you know, I didn't give you guys the right, or maybe I did something wrong there. So please let me know if I didn't give you what you deserve. Okay, your peer assessment, you wouldn't be able to see it. You wouldn't know because it's private. And then reflection is also available, and also your midterm. So this is the marks, and this is out of 65%. And as I mentioned already, I think a couple of times throughout the semester, that you need to get 65 and above in order for you to pass this course. So it might get a bit confusing because F supposedly is fail, right? But so if you got, let's C minus or D, you have to take the final exam again next semester. Okay, so there are different consequences to this, in a way that if you get below 50, you have to repeat the same course. But basically, if you want to be safe, it's above 65. There are some cases where students do not get enough marks for final exam, and then they have to take the final exam, only the final exam, in the next semester as well. And I don't want that to happen to you, so please get more than 65. Do the math. So final exam is 30% only, but you wouldn't know your other 5 more percent from your peer assessment. So you do the math, calculate however, or the minimum number of, the minimum um, marks that you need to get for your final exam so that you can pass this course. Okay, there are some cases of people failing this because 65 is quite high, as I mentioned early in the semester. Okay, this is total out of 65, this one. So this is out of 65. Okay, and you need to get as well 65 in order for you to safely pass this course. All right. I think some of you guys did quite well as well. So if you are doing a good job, and you think that you can get A minus at least, so please aim for that. I think it's possible. It's not impossible. Definitely it's possible. So please make sure that you do the necessary for your final exam. As simple as that. And if you deserve that mark, I will give you the mark that you deserve. Okay? All right. So any problems or any issues with your course mark, please email me. If you don't want to ask now, you want to email me, you can do that as well. Okay? All right, so let's go to final exam, because tomorrow is your final exam, and you have to wake up early in the morning because it starts at 9, and then you have 3 hours and 15 minutes to do it. I think I mentioned to you guys yesterday, but I'm just gonna re-emphasize again. So you need to click on content, click on your blackboard, click on ENL 101 English composition. Then if you click on the content, you would see all different folders. So I'm gonna go to my blackboard and see. So if you click here, content, you would see different folders. Am I right? So in order for you to take your final exam tomorrow, click on, am I being too fast? Okay, so click here in final exam 30% and click here. So these two, you wouldn't be able to see it because um, it will automatically be available 9 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, so these two unseen items are final exam question and also the tool where you upload your final exam document. Okay, so tomorrow at 9, please download this first document, which is the final exam question. Okay, final exam question, download it, and then make sure that your computer has you are able to open Word document in your computer. So if you guys are using MacBook, make sure that you have Word document, or if you can open it in Pages, please make sure that you convert it back to Word document, not in PDF form. Okay, it's very important because I need to mark it and I need to give feedback as well, because after finish marking, I would have to show it to another lecturer, and then that lecturer will be again marking your paper and making sure that there is consistency between the marks so that you guys would get the marks that you deserve. Okay, so if I'm being too strict, the other lecturer will ask me to increase my marks. If I'm being too lenient, that lecturer will ask me to reduce my marks. So it goes both ways, making sure that you guys get the marks that you deserve. Okay, so this is where you firstly download it in a Word document, and then once you're done with your test, once you're done with your final exam, you have to upload it here. Okay, so this is where you upload. This is where I can see when did you upload it. When if you didn't upload it, it will appear here. So if you are unsure if you have uploaded or not, you can email me and say, Miss, I have uploaded, but I'm not too sure if my internet, maybe you don't have a strong internet connection and you want to ask me to double confirm. I can, confirm it back to you, and then I reply to your email to ensure you that you have submitted your final exam paper. Okay, so make sure this one is only one attempt. So make sure the one that you upload is the right document and it's the final one. So I don't want, if I have people coming in and tell me that, oh Miss, that is not the final one, this is the final one. And what makes me a bit mad is because you send it a bit later, which is exceeding the due date, so it's unfair for your friends. And remember, this is final exam. Okay, are you guys clear on the process that you have to go through tomorrow? So it's very simple, very easy, right? You guys are clear, right? Are you clear? Yes. Okay, awesome, thank you so much. Oops. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so again, your final exam is 3 hours and 15 minutes of reading time, but whatever, I don't know if you guys are reading or typing, whatever, okay? So do whatever you want within 3 hours and 15 minutes. Make sure that you have if you don't have a stable internet connection, for example, I need you to immediately, I'm going to leave you with my WhatsApp number in an announcement, so that if you have any problem, you can email me right away. For example, you don't have strong internet connection, or it's not uploading, or any kind of problem, I need you to take a photo of it, give me proof that you are uploading it or you're having a problem with it, so that I can help you for tomorrow. Okay, and then for this one, final exam, you have two questions. You have to answer both questions. So for the first question, is very similar to your midterm exam that you had before the lockdown. And for that first question, you have two sections, and it's basically the same thing, where you have to write an essay outline, and also based on the essay outline itself, you have to write a 5 paragraph essay. And it's the same information, but we want to see if you can, differentiate between TC statement and also blah 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 blah, a lot of things. So this part I have covered yesterday. If you haven't, seen the video, or if you missed out the open session, you can refer to the revision folder and have a look and listen to that recording again if you want. Or there is a I put up my slides if you want to refer to the slides. Okay, will we be given our stances? No, so you have to decide on your stand. Okay, so I'm going to talk about argumentative essay in a bit. And then for second question, which is on argumentative essay, is something that I want to make sure that you guys get the structure and how to do it, because that is a lot of marks. That is 50%. It's half of your whole final exam. Okay, and I think that it's possible. It's very you can do this if you understand the structure. You should be able to do this. So I'm not very much worried, but if you think that you still haven't got, the structure or the fundamental things about argumentative essay, please do let me know, and I'll stay with you and make sure that you understand before you go for your final exam tomorrow. Okay, so let's talk about argumentative essay. Before that, for your first question, this is from yesterday, just a general recap. So for the first question, this one, the first question, you can be asked in you have to select one out of 3 topics, and these 3 topics are derived or based on illustrative essay or process essay or causes, effects, or causes and effects essay, or compare and contrast essay. So this for causes, effects, and cause and effect essay, this is where most of the problem lies, because you have to understand these are 3 different things. We have causes, we have effects only, causes only, effects only, and causes and effects. And these 3 have different, these 2 are the same, but this one is different from causes only and effects only. The structure is different. And this is something that a lot of you did wrongly in your midterm, and I don't want you guys to do the wrong thing as well again. So it's very easy. All you have to do is look at the question, making sure that the question will straightforwardly say if they want only causes or only effects, or they want causes and effects. Okay, so it would be very straightforward. There wouldn't be any tricky part. Okay, and also compare and contrast essay. So this is something that we haven't tested you guys on. So maybe we will test you tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't know. So please look at the structure. You don't have to memorize because it's an open book test, but you have to understand. And to prepare you guys with this first question, I would strongly recommend you to go through all of the slides, to go through all of the slides and lectures on what we have done on these different types of essays. Okay, so making sure that you know the differences between each one of these essays. So illustrative, in your supporting details, we're looking at more examples. Okay, process essays, we're looking at more steps. The language is showing process, and in your concluding sentence in process essay, we're looking at how you want to relate to the first step with the next step, or the next processes that will be explained in the next paragraph. Causes and effects, if you are doing causes and effect, we're looking at how you want to have the transition between going from causes and effects, the next one. And lastly, compare and contrast, it has to be very objective. Okay, so compare and contrast can be slightly hard um, in a way that it can be a bit similar to argumentative essay. So that is very tricky. So compare and contrast is when you become very objective and thesis statement in compare and contrast essay can be a little bit tricky. But remember, we've learned about this and it should be fine. You can do this. I'm just saying that these, different essays have different structures, and I'm expecting to see that tomorrow. Okay? Any questions? Miss, the one that you write, its essay outline should be the same one you will write for. Yes, so the components in essay outline will be almost the same thing with the one that you have to write for your 5 paragraph essay. So all of the supporting details, all of the thesis statement, everything is there. But something are not there, like your hook shouldn't be in your essay outline. So there are a few things, and concluding sentence in main body paragraph wouldn't be able to see you. I wouldn't be able to know it in your essay outline. So there are a few missed out components. Basically, essay outline is just a way of giving you free marks. So I wouldn't care very much on content. I wouldn't care if your supporting detail is actually supporting your topic sentence. I wouldn't care that. I want to see if you can formulate a grammatically correct sentence in your essay outline. But in your 30 marks of the second section here in the actual essay, if your supporting detail is not supporting your topic sentence, I have to deduct marks in content. If I don't see any smooth flow going on from one paragraph to another because you don't use transition words, I will deduct marks in terms of your organization. Okay, so basically it's a bit redundant. The information or the sentences or supporting details, some of the components would be almost the same thing from your essay outline. But I want to see how you making sure that everything binds together, you know, like how you can connect from one paragraph to another. And that will be in your actual essay. Okay? So basically saying if you do well in your essay outline, you should be able to do well in your actual essay. But um, actual essay, I'm being a bit more critical in a way that I look at the content. I look at how good your logic is. I look at how good your supporting details are, basically. Okay? So if you still struggle with the first question, which I don't think you should be, because that was tested in your midterm, and I think it should be quite easy, but maybe you wanna study back on the different types of essays. Yeah, sorry. Does it mean that all first question prompt can be written as argumentative essay? So Elizabeth, it's very important for you to know that only argumentative essay would only be asked in question 2. So question 1 is can only be there are 3 different topics, and each 3 different topics, I mean, could be either illustrative or process or causes effects, and causes and effect, and also compare and contrast. So argumentative essay is only for question 2. Do you get it? Have you a video that talk? So illustrative essay is when I talk about it in the beginning of the semester. So I don't think that we talk a lot of, I mean, I don't have a video that talk about illustrative essay per se, but I think the slides should be enough to cover illustrative essay. So basically illustrative essay is just looking at your supporting details and to giving good examples, like how you give one example, one long example, or is it like short, 2 short examples? They are good. Okay. So the essay outline won't be as the essay itself. So essay outline is the first question. So the first question. So essay outline, first question would be the same information in the actual essay itself. The same thing, but um, the type of essay can only be illustrative, process, causes and effects, and also compare and contrast. So argumentative essay is basically only question 2. Argumentative essay is only question 2. Do you get what I mean? Um, do you get what I mean, Elizabeth? I'm we will have a it's a very similar to your midterm. It's very similar. It's very straightforward. The question would be very easy. Like if you see at your midterm, it says that writing essays can be overwhelming to some people. Explain 3 steps in writing essays effectively. Many students experience stress at university, hence leading to poor academic performance. Illustrate 3 ways to avoid stress among students. Children nowadays are exposed to the latest technological gadgets such as smartphones and computer tablets at a young age. What could be some of the effects of this phenomenon? So I will be posting you the topics from your midterm and then post it in the revision so that you can see. So the way the question will be structured is very, very similar to your midterm. So I will post this question from your midterm and post it in the revision so that you can see how the questions will be formulated. Okay. So we will use the prompts on the questions to write the essay for. Oh, so question 2 is totally different. So totally different. Question 1, you would have to write the essay outline and also the actual essay, and then you will have another question, which is question 2, argumentative essay. We're gonna give you 3 topics. Select one of those. Got it? Yes, unrelated. Totally unrelated at all. Yes. So definitely different. Yes. So basically, we're writing 2 different essays and 1 essay outline. Got it? Okay, all right. So Joseph, illustrative essay outline is similar to causes and effect or how it is outlined. So illustrative essay, so you have to remember, sorry. So for causes, effects, and cause and effect essay, it's different in a way that causes and effects are causes and effect is very special by itself. Causes or effects can be a bit similar to illustrative essay in a way that they have 5 paragraphs. Causes and effects, they have 6 instead of 5 because we need that transition paragraph. Okay, all right. So if you want, I can explain about it after this. Once I have done covering argumentative essay after this class, we can stay and then we can study that if you want. Okay. So I shall be moving on to what we want today because I don't think we have a lot of time. So let's talk about question 2, which is about argumentative essay. So for your question 2 argumentative essay, we will give you 3 different topics. Okay, 3 different topics. From these 3 topics, choose the one that you want, or choose one topic that you feel that you want to do lah. So okay, but before that, can you unmute your microphone and tell me? Because when we did argumentative essay, I recorded myself with the lecture. I recorded the lecture myself, so I don't really know if you guys understand the structure of argumentative essay and blah blah blah. Can somebody help me and tell me what is the structure of argumentative essay? How many arguments do you need in a thesis statement? Can somebody tell me? How many arguments do you need in a thesis statement for argumentative essay? Hello? Oh, now you guys are quiet, huh? Can somebody tell me in a thesis? Yes, type it. You can type it. So in a thesis statement for argumentative essay, how many points do you need? 3, 2. Okay, so it's very important for you to know. Oh man, it's very important for you to know in thesis statement. Very good, Edmund and also Elizabeth. For your thesis statement, only write 2 points, which are your arguments. Okay, only 2 points. Counter argument, you don't have to write it in your thesis statement. Okay, let's take a look at an example. Take so this one is available in week 14 itself. So this is structure of argumentative essay. This was not done by me. This is by a diploma student, which is quite good. So I decided to use this. Have a look at this. This is a TC statement. Okay. So a TC statement needs to consist of the two arguments, which are your argument 1 and also argument 2. Therefore, this essay will outline 2 reasons why 18 years old is not a suitable age. See, the grammar is off. Suitable age to be a qualified voter, which are immature and do not have a comprehensible outlook on politics. So, in your TC statement, you should only write 2 arguments. Those 2 arguments are your first main body paragraph and also second main body paragraph. Okay, so that is TC statement in argumentative essay. So, right? Okay. How many points do you need in restate of TC statement? Now, how many points do you need in restate of TC statement? Very good. Okay, so in restate of TC statement, you have to combine both 2 arguments and also your counter argument. Let's have a look at here. Okay, this is okay. Restate of TC statement. In conclusion, the voting age, the legal voting age in Malaysia should not be lowered to 18 years old because 18 years old are not mature enough and do not have enough outlook in politics, even though that some may argue that 18 years old are mature and responsible. So basically, because from previous conclusion, they do not give me the 2 arguments and also the counter argument. I asked them to write a new one here, a new conclusion here. So that new restate of TC statement, they have to give me 2 arguments and also that one counter argument. So in terms of language, in terms of structure, you can use your own creativity. If you want to start with a counter argument first, then only you lay out your 2 arguments, it's also possible. Okay, I'm leaving the language and structure and creativity to you on how to do restate of TC statement. But remember, you have to start with a concluding word, like in conclusion, in a nutshell, blah blah blah, anything like that. Okay, and then only you give your 2 points or your 2 arguments and also your counter argument. It's either way, you want to start with the counter argument first, then you give your 2 arguments, or vice versa, it's fine. Okay, all right. So which paragraph is the counter argument paragraph? And what is a counter argument paragraph? So which paragraph is the counter argument paragraph, guys? So counter argument is the most important one. Very good. So this is the 4th paragraph. Okay. So what does counter argument paragraph, basically what's the function of it? Can somebody tell me? You can unmute your microphone or you can type it if you want. Okay. Show the other or contradicting point of view. Very good, very good, well done. So basically you need to start, yes, to oppose an argument, you need to start that whole paragraph with a view from the opposite or contradicting side. Then your first supporting detail has to give like has to support that contradicting view. Next, you have to refute that view. Okay, so basically counter argument, the role itself is to give you a paragraph where you can say that the opposite do not have a very strong argument. Okay, so let's see, let's go again into the details. These are some general questions. So this is how I'm going to mark your argumentative essay. in terms of content, you can get up until 15 marks, and then language is also 15 marks. Your organization, so organization comprises of whether or not you know what are um, in the introduction, in the main body paragraph, which is the argument, also in your counter argument paragraph, and also in your concluding paragraph. If you have the structure, you can get up until 10 marks. So it's a lot, okay? And then lastly, we're looking at logic for 10 marks. Now let's have a look at each one of them, okay? For content, we need to make sure that your points are relevant to the essay and also the topic. So a lot of students, especially AUP students, they are very good in English, but what they are not good at is looking at the question paper, looking at the topic. Some students, they do not understand the question itself. They're very good, but they don't understand the question. So if your point is not related and do not answer the question, okay, you wouldn't get the marks, and I will have to deduct marks here. If you go off topic, I have to deduct here and divide by half. Okay, it's a lot of marks, okay? And then language is the normal one, your grammar, your spelling, your verb tenses, your punctuation. I notice a lot of you guys have problems in punctuation. And we're looking at your vocabulary, your sentence structure, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And when it comes to organization, as I mentioned, we want to see if you can know the structure, if you can have good transition words to have a good flow when I read your first paragraph and going on to the next paragraph. I think it's very easy and I think it's very smooth sailing. Then you can get higher marks in organization. Lastly, is something new that I introduced to you guys is on logic. Okay, logic is when I want to see if your supporting details are good enough, because in argumentative essay it's all about arguing, it's all about giving good arguments. So if you give very bad arguments, I have to deduct marks in logic. Now I have given you guys some slides, a very long lecture as well on fallacies. So if you commit any of those fallacies, I have to deduct marks in logic. You don't have to memorize those fallacies, but you have to understand that those are not good arguments. Those are bad arguments that you should not write in your argumentative essay. And a bit, I will show you guys on some of the bad arguments that most students do. Okay, but before that, let's go through again the argumentative essay structure. So in your first paragraph, which is the introduction, you need to start with the hook, then your building sentence. So building sentence here is basically giving like a background information, and not only that, it's always good if you can give us, okay, sorry. So it's always good if you can give us why this issue is becoming a debate in your background information. Okay, so if you guys, one of the biggest difference between compare and contrast essay and also argumentative essay is that argumentative essay, there's always, debates around it. It's always good and bad. So in argumentative essay, you need to, basically lay down the basic information. Why do people are being divided about this topic? Why do people say A instead of B? Why do people B believe in B? So basically, a good argumentative essay would be able to basically introduce the reader into how and why the argument happened in first place in your introduction. Okay, now this is the example that I gave in Blackboard. So if you want to know how to do it, as you can see, I commented in each one of the sentences and what I feel about it. So you can go ahead and read it. I also included some points, like for example, these are not good, you need to give so please read this. This is a very, I think, quite thorough explanation into each one of the structure, if you can. Okay, and your thesis statement. So in the last sentence of your introduction has to be the introduction, and you have to present only 2 points. Those 2 points are your argument 1 and also argument 2. Argument 1 and 2 is very straightforward, very easy. The first one is the topic sentence. The fancy word is claim. For example, you want to say apple is the best fruit because it's delicious. That is your claim. That is the topic sentence. Then you have to give me, sorry, 3 premises or supporting details. Now, these supporting details, I want to see very logic, very good and strong arguments coming from it. And lastly, you need to close it with a concluding statement. Now, here goes the quite to say the trickiest part about argumentative essay, which is the counter argument. So I think you guys understand about argument, counter argument essay, sorry, paragraph, but I'm just going to restate again. So in counter argument paragraph, the first sentence is always the counter argument sentence, which is talking about what is the stand from the opposing view. Okay, what is the opposition claim? Then the next sentence should be the first premise explaining about the claim. Okay, next is the refutation. Why is this claim not good? Bad argument. Why? Okay, so then you give 2 premises or 2 supporting details, trying to agree to that refutation. Lastly, you give a concluding sentence. Okay, these are very crucial because this will contribute marks in your content and also in your logic. I need to make sure that you don't do bad arguments, bad fallacies, and then if you write fallacies, and this itself will turn out to be very bad. Okay, and lastly, please do not forget to do concluding sentence. So if you want to see an example, you can look at this example here. Okay, it's the first sentence should be the counter argument. Some may claim that 18 years old, da 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 da, and then give some explanation to that counter argument. Next, if you can see here, this person is giving a linking word, however, to indicate now we're moving to the refutation. However, this is not a good argument. Why? Because 18 years old is still considered as a teenager because they just graduated from secondary school. Quite shaky actually. But now let's see the premises. So the premises should prove to me that if they just graduated, therefore they're still teenager, and what's the consequence? So as you can see here, the logic and content is not very strong, but the structure is there. So the next 2 premises should, refute and give information about the reputation, and lastly, give me a concluding sentence. In a nutshell, this argument is not valid as the premises could not support the conclusion that 18 years old is not a good voting age. Okay, and then lastly, in your concluding paragraph, you need to start with a restate of thesis statement. As mentioned, your restate of thesis statement needs to conclude or needs to summarize 1 counter argument and your 2 arguments. Next, you should give me some general statement, and lastly, a bit of recommendation if you can. In argumentative essay, please try and not write personal pronoun. If you write personal pronoun, now it becomes centered around you. It's not objective. Okay, so when you are giving non-objective, it means it's very subjective. So it's not a very strong argument. Okay, if you can, try to avoid using personal pronoun in argumentative essay. Okay, So let's take a look. Okay, this is what I said just now. Okay. This is also another example of counter argument. It's available, I think, in previous slides on argumentative essay as well. This is here if you want to see how it's being structured. Now let's move into how to improve your logic in supporting details. So if you want, you can refer to week 12 slides. There's more fallacies discussed there. But some of the frequently used, a lot of students, they tend to do a lot of hasty generalization. What's a hasty generalization is when they assume that, for example, 18 years old are lacking of political knowledge. They just simply assume the whole group is the same, have the same tendencies. So basically stereotyping lah. Stereotype one person could be that because all, for example, all Asian drivers are not good drivers. Okay, so basically hasty generalization is when you make stereotypes, and you can even see in the example of argumentative essay that I showed you guys just now. 18 years old are not good voting age because they are immature. How can you prove it's immature? How can you prove all 18 years old are immature? So basically you're stereotyping all 18 years old as immature. So that is an example of hasty generalization. Okay, another fallacy that a lot of students did is on slippery slope. Slippery slope is when you say that, for example, one cause or one claim like animal experimentation can lead to a bigger consequence. And for this case, animal experimentation can soon cause us to be more violent, like in war and murder. So it's basically trying to give like the bigger consequence in future, whereas sometimes it could be not the case. It cannot be generalized like that. So one small thing can lead to a bigger consequence. It's very hyperbole, if you can say. It's very exaggerated in a way. So that is something that a lot of students did as well. Slippery slope. Okay, one more thing a lot of students did is appeal to authority. When they want to mention one name, and they just say that oh, we have to do this because Brad Pitt did it. Okay, so it's basically trying to add strength, but really what you did is just appealing to authority. You're saying that because all policemen are doing this, so we have to follow them, basically like that. Okay, and I want to move into citations and also referencing. I'm just scared that we don't have the time. Okay, so for citation and referencing, I want you guys to use APA, but I don't want you guys to be very strict about it. I just want it to be very simplified. So the first question goes, when do we need to cite or refer to external sources? Now, because this is an open book test, you are definitely allowed to go online and search about or look into some information online. But you cannot copy word by word because your answers, your final exam answers, I will upload it into a software called Turnitin, and that software will know if you are copying word by word from the internet or any kind of books. Okay, so when would you need to look up for external sources? Could be when you're looking for your hook or in your main body paragraph, which is on your supporting details. So this is an example of how you can do hook or you can refer to external sources. Okay, but for supporting details here, let's take a look at this example here. For example, your topic sentence is on animal testing. Animal testing is essential in making sure that a new drug is safe for human use. So what you need to find now is that you need to go online and look at what could be some of the what could be the evidence or proof that animal testing is really important to make sure that it's safe for human use. So when I go online and I look and I found this one very reliable website, okay, so in this I can see there's an example of a case where people don't use animal, they use human. And the consequence of it led to a lot of really, really bad consequence like blindness and then ulcers and blisters at that, respondents. It's causing a lot of consequence to the respondents and even led to bacterial infection, and also that person eventually died from a case where they don't use animal but they use human instead. So I want to use this example and put it in my essay. So have a look into how I do it. Instead of copying these word by word, I summarize it. So I can start firstly by saying a report by the source, National Academy of Sciences. Year it was published, which is on 2004, published a report on the use of laboratory animal to ensure efficacious drug before it's being distributed for human usage. As you can see, some of the words I still keep it. Like for example, laboratory animal. And I want to say it's essential in evaluating the safety of the drugs. So some of the words I change it. I change into synonyms like an efficacious drug. I try to make it like effective. I try to use a bit of synonym to indicate the similar meaning, but I structure it in my own words. So now I want to use that example of the case just now. So I try to summarize what the case is about. The National Academy of Sciences reported on a case in 1933 that involved a group of ladies with untested chemicals. This has resulted into many severe consequences and even led to one death amongst the respondents. So I don't give a bit of detail, because if I give a lot of details, I will tend to copy from the website. I just summarize. There was a case in 1933. What happened? They did untest. They tested with untested chemical. Usually they did it with animal, but they don't want to do it in animal. They do it with human, and there are some dire consequence with it. I don't list out the consequence because I think if I do that, I don't know any synonyms. I might ended up, copying from the website. So I only put out some general findings about it. Okay, so this is some of the ways for you to refer to external sources and how you can do well in it. Okay, so the tips is that for you not to copy but to summarize and paraphrase. You can also try to substitute certain words with synonyms and making sure that your supporting details is relevant and answering the topic sentence. So if you think that the information given do not support your topic sentence, do not take it, because that can go off topic and that will lead to deduction of marks in your content and also in your logic, because it's not logic. Okay, so those are important things that you need to remember when you want to do your supporting details. Okay, so is there any questions? I'm hearing some. Can we use external sources? Yes. So you can refer to external sources. Make sure that you paraphrase it. Make sure that, just like an example that I gave just now, try to summarize. Do not copy word by word. Then it's fine. You also have to give me where the sources is coming from and which year is it. And for citation, I don't want to be too complex. So for the in-text citation where you put inside your essays, it could be something like this. But for your reference list, it could be something very easy. I wouldn't go too harsh on you guys. All you have to do is just write references, where's the source coming from, which year, and where do you get it. You don't have to write too details like the APA style. I think that I don't teach you guys enough information for you to do the reference list. All you have to do is just give me this. It's fine. Okay. Is it okay to make up source? Now, because you guys now have access to the internet, I will not allow you to make up the source. If I think that the source is not reliable, I will go online and look at it. Okay, now I know that I told you guys before that you can make up source because in your final exam, normally, typically, you don't have the internet connection, you don't have the internet source. Now that you have access to the internet, you're not allowed to make it up. Okay, you have to refer to it. All right, it's a very good question. Any more questions? Good. Okay, let's go next. Okay. Any questions? I think that's all that I have today. But do you guys have any questions? Any questions about the argumentative essay? Please refer to the structure. Make sure that you follow that structure when you're writing your argumentative essay. Okay. Which one? You want to ask about illustrative essay? Is it Joseph? Okay, yes, argumentative essay is 5 paragraph. Yes, it's 5 paragraph only. What if you can't find some information when you're citing? What does it mean? Wait, Joseph, what do you mean by you cannot find the information when you're citing? What does it mean by that? Like the author. So you can just give me the name of the website. For example, you got it from National Geography, but they don't tell you who the author is. Just tell, okay, National Geography. If there is a year, if there is no year, you can say no date, which is like this. And sorry, D. So this means no date. For example, National Geography. And D. Very good question. So if you don't know which year is it and you don't have the, sometimes a lot of government document, they don't have the author. So you want to say Ministry of Health. Oh, oh my God, 2020. A lot of government copies or government published article something, they don't have specific authors. So you can just write the it means no date. There is no date for it. So NB is for the year. So typically you will have the source, Ministry of Health, and then the year 2020. But if you cannot find the year, you can write ND, which is no date. If we are quoting, you have to put the site after the quotation marks. Yes, yes. So Albert Einstein said blah 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 blah. Right? Okay. Whatever. Something like this. It's easy as that. Okay. For cite and reference, do we have to include? Yes, you have to include the reference list and bibliography, but it's very easy, and I don't want you guys to stress too much on it because it can take a lot of time. All you have to do is just tell me the source of it, and then the year, and then where did you get it from. So it's not very specific like the typical APA style, but I need to know who is the author, which year, and where did you get it. That's it. Simple. All right. So for example, let me open a Word document. Okay, example, so blah 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 blah, and then CT 2020. Okay, so this is your in-text citation. This is your essay. At the end of the essay, you have to write references. CT, no, Haliza 2020 retrieved right from www blah 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 blah. Okay, so something like this. Now this is your essay, and the end of it, just give me the references that you got it. Okay, it will also increase the logic of it. As easy as that. You don't have to go very detailed. Must we give you the site? Obviously, you have to give me the site because I want to see how much you copied from it. I also need to see if what you summarized is correct or not. Okay. Actually, if it's APA style, it's called references, not bibliography. Bibliography is much more on Harvard style, but bibliography is different in a way that it has more. It can have more because sometimes you don't in text cite, you don't provide the citation in your references, but you read it somewhere. You can put it in your bibliography. But for this, only write what you cite. Therefore, only references. Anything that you put in your essay, only that you put it here. So no bibliography, only references. Okay? Sorry. Um, the site has to be mentioned. Yes. So the where did you get it? The references, you have to put it in the reference list. Okay? Here. See typo. Okay? So you have to give me the link here in the reference list. You have to give me the site because you cannot make up the references. I mean, the you cannot make up the information. So I need to see that if you can find the year and also this author, you should be able to give me the site because that is the first thing that will come out in your here, right? So if you want to search, for example, um, cases involving human experiments or trafficking, for example, that is your topic. So the first thing that will come out is actually the site. So that is kind of like given, it's there. Yes, at the end of the essay. So the reference, I mean, the site is you have to write it in reference list. You don't have to write it in the essay, but I need to know where did you get it as well. Okay, so it's also important for me to see your research skills as well. Where did you get it from? Is this a reliable source and blah blah blah. But I wouldn't be too harsh about it. Okay, will we put, okay, it's not necessary for you to find references. As I mentioned, you can use external sources if you want to strengthen your hook and also your supporting details. So instead of, maybe you don't want to put you can just, you want to give examples or you want to just give me explanation. You don't want to give me the, you don't want to give me the statistics, so you don't have external sources. It's fine, it's okay, but can you guarantee me that the logic is there just by giving me the explanation? So the risk, I mean, it's okay, but you might have a higher risk of committing fallacies if you don't give me good references. Any penalization for mistakes under references? No, 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 because I'm not going to be very strict about it. Okay, so if you did a typo or anything, it's fine. I won't penalize you for it. Okay, so where exactly should we write the references about the external sources? So, okay, example, this one, this is your essay. Yeah? Okay, this is question 2, argumentative essay. Okay, you choose question topic 1, for example. Okay. Now this is your essay. You start with the hook. Blah 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 blah, blah. Okay, this is your topic. Okay, this is your essay. Okay. whatever. So this is your essay. So at the end of this essay, let's assume there are 5 paragraphs here. Then at the end of it, you have to write this references, and then tell me where these tell me the author, the year, and where did you get it from. As simple as that. Okay, the reference list is very easy, very simple, something like this. Okay, so this is what we call in-text citation. This is what we call reference list. All right, okay, it's easy as that. So any more questions about argumentative essay? If you don't have any question, you can leave now. I'm going to stay and talk about illustrative essay. For question 1, do we have to include a reference list? If you find or if you put some in-text citation in your question 1, you have to give me the reference list. If you don't have to. Okay, both question 1 and question 2. All right. Don't combine, separate it so that I can see, it's easier for me to see it because it's 2 different essays. You do not combine it, make it separate. Okay, so all the references should be in reference list, not in the paragraph. So it should be both. Reference list is this one. Okay, this is what we call reference list. When you put it in your paragraph, this is something that we call in-text citation. Okay. In-text citation is necessary for you to write in your paragraph. Okay, something like this. Let me show you. Okay. Okay. All right. So can you see this? So here, these are in-text citation. These are in-text citations. Now these are the external sources that I read somewhere, and then I put it to strengthen my writing. Now at the end of my writing, I should give my reference list, which is this. Okay. All right. So it's 2 separate things. One is in your essay and another one is in the list. So you have to give me 2. One is in the essay itself, which is what we call in-text citation. In your in-text citation, you only have to write the last name of the author. For example, okay, last name could be tricky. For example, Paul Carter. Okay, only select Carter because that is the last name, and then the year that he's cited, 2020. So you only have to write the last name of the author and also the year it's published. Okay, in your body paragraph. Then in your reference list, you can write the name of that person, last name, and then the first name, year it's published. Retrieved from where? Okay. So in your essay tomorrow, I want to see both in-text citation and also reference list. Okay. So in-text is very easy. Just put the last name of the author and also the year it's been published. Simple as that. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So if you don't have any more questions about your argumentative essay, you can leave. If you want, you can listen to illustrative essay here. Okay. Any more questions about the argumentative essay? I strongly advise you to read all of the different structures and of different essays, and also make sure you don't have to memorize out, you only have to understand you do it. Okay? Right. Which week are we talking about illustrative essay? I'm not sure. So if you do not have any more questions about illustrative essay, you can leave. Sorry, argumentative essay, you can leave. If you don't have this, you can stay with us if you want to listen to illustrative essay. Yes, sure. No. So references do not contribute to the word limit. You don't have to worry about it. After summarize, yes. After you summarize, you have to write the in-text citation. Correct. Okay. If you have any more questions, you can email me. Okay. You can leave or you can stay. Let's talk about illustrative essay. I cannot stay long because I have another open session with a different group. Now, in your illustrative essay, if you look at the structure, it's the same structure, like the typical structure. But what's important about illustrative essay is that we're looking at your supporting details now. So your supporting details, we'll look at your examples, because illustrative is basically giving us a good illustration or a good you know what I mean, illustration. So we want to look into your body paragraph. So your examples can be specific or can be hypothetical, but do not write many hypothetical. So it could be short, it could be long. So here, example, this is your topic sentence. You can either write one long specific example, so it could be 2 sentences, or you can write different short interrelated specific examples if you want to in your body paragraph. Okay? So in your illustrative essay, we're looking mostly into your your examples, if it's good or not. So that is the quality of your content that we're looking at. Are these examples good to be in illustrative essay? Do you get what I mean? So actually everything is actually basically in these slides already. Do you get what I mean here, Joseph? Do you get what I mean here? Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, miss. I had some connection problems, but yeah, got what you said.
You got it? So
Yeah.
I would recommend you to look at all of the slides on different types of essays. I think in the slides itself, it's kind of like self-explanatory, where you can have the differences. What are the differences between illustrative essay and also different other types of essays? It's very straightforward. Um, I would recommend you to read the slides and understand the differences. So this is an example here. Here I give one example on WeChat. This is an explanation to this case. So if you look at the slides, it's actually there already. Okay. Oh no, it's fine, it's fine. So in all of the essays, please try to avoid using personal pronoun. You might encounter, the topic asking what for example, argumentative essay, provide your opinion. So even though it's your opinion, try to make it as objective as possible. Try to avoid using personal pronoun, because when you use personal pronoun, you will make it very subjective. Do you get it? So it's really lowering the uh, how to say, the validity of your writing itself. So it's becoming all about you rather than being more objective. Miss, could you please inform us in case that you have problem in our submission before the correction of minor? What do you mean by that, Hubert? Can you please explain what you mean by inform the case you got problem in our what do you mean by that? Hubert? What do you mean by that, Hubert?
I just want to mean if we
Mm,
get
mm.
if we submit it in a bad format or another problem in our submission.
Huh? Yeah? Oh, like what? Yes, yes. So, okay, your final exam. I will give you my WhatsApp number. You can ask me, Miss, do I submit it correctly? So I will check your submission. If I think that it's a bit weird or you can change it, I'll let you know. Okay? So once you are done and you're not sure if you have submitted or not, you can email me or you can WhatsApp me asking me if your submission has went through or not, and I'll check it and I'll let you know after that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. So after this, I'm going to do an announcement. I will post your midterm questions so that you can see how the questions will look like, and then I will give you my WhatsApp number so that it's easier for you to communicate with me tomorrow. Okay. All right. Good luck with your exam tomorrow. You will be fine. Okay. So please let me know if you have any more questions. But I also have to leave in a bit because I have another meeting in a bit. So if you still have any questions, please email me. Good luck for tomorrow. Good luck. Thank you so much. Good luck for tomorrow. Any more questions? Last question maybe if you have. Any last question? Oh, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Good luck. You will be fine. I pray that you guys will pass this course. I don't want to see you guys anymore. No, not in a bad way. Okay. So good luck. Take care, everybody. Please, if you have any problems, academically or non-academic, you can just um, email me or WhatsApp me. Okay. So I'll give you my number tomorrow so that you can ask me questions if you have any troubles with your internet connection or anything. Okay, I'll put it in a separate announcement so that it's specifically for tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you. Good luck. My prayer is with you guys. Good luck. Any more questions? No question. Thank you. Bye bye.